All right. Thank you for stopping in for another edition of Dot Hack Character Builds. This is a grumpy old guy gaming, and this is episode 2 in the series. Probably the one I was set to do at the start of this series the most, and probably going to be the easiest one for me to do. So I'll stop with these slow talking stalling tactics for the sake of having some sort of introduction here and get on with it. It is my Blademaster, my main character, the first character I ever built to play Fragment. Repkosai, the Blademaster. You see the lovely water element Silver Knight model. Going to go into the status screen and show you the gear real quick. We're going to touch on the weapon here in a second, but it's going to take a change of scenery from the cathedral at Hidden Forbidden Holy Ground here in the offline. But first, we're going to go over the armor, and the armor is real simple. Despite that joke I made in the intro to episode 1 about using high level gear, I could not wait until I got to a point where I could use high level gear because the stats for level 99 gear is fantastic. Here you see the Usurper helm at level 99, giving us plus 12 to our physical defense and plus 13 to our physical evasion, even being strong enough to help out with physical attack a little and accuracy, giving us solid buffs on the magical side and plus 7s on the elementals, 10 to the spirit and 12 to the body stats. Also going to give us all rep and rig same, getting an instance of null damage off the Usurper helm as well for that timely 0 damage cancellation. As random as it is, you're never sad to see it. Omega Guard's going to be our body armor, giving us the rig game component of our buff spread there. I like to have health and mana regeneration on at all times if I can, and having them on a stick means I don't have to farm for those health and soul charms, and it means that all I have to do is worry about having enough SP to cast the next one. Stats for the Omega Guard are identical to the Usurper helm, and this is going to give us Migan Rom, which is going to be our primary magic damage spell, which comes in far more handy at high levels than you would imagine. For gloves, we're going Demon's Hands, 99 heavy hand armor. This gives us Mayani Cruz, which I almost never use. As you could see, this slightly better statistically. Not only is it giving us that extra point in the body stat, but it's also giving us +1 to our magic attack and accuracy. So an all-around beneficial armor. The big thing this gives us is Apdu, speed on a stick. As far as I know, there are really only 2 items in Fragment that have this, and that's Demon's Hands and the Cat's Boots. Didn't want to lower any of the armor statistics, as being able to take a hit and keep going is a hallmark of my Blademaster. Apdu was really sort of something I was seeking out, and Demon's Hands being the only option was a pleasant option to get. Rounding out the armor side of things is the Ultra Leg Mail, and at level 99 it's really not giving us more than stats. You can see we get an extra magic attack off of it, nothing in the accuracy. One thing I will point out it gives me though is Deck Vorma. That is the Beastbane skill, and while that's not terribly useful for me, it's rather fun to be able to throw out to help any wave masters I've got in the party. I party frequently with Emus, who's got a main character that's a wave master, and being able to just run up and body against a magic tolerant enemy until I'm able to take its shields down, set up that big magic finish without having to burn consumables is only a bonus in my book. Now, as I promised, we will go over the weapons, which means I have to get away from the cathedral, which is honestly one of my favorite places in Dot Hack. So I am going to run in. Here is a fun little transition. Did I say run? I clearly didn't mean run. And now that we've walked into the cathedral, I am going to simply fade to black and see y'all in a root time. Bet y'all thought I was going to come back to Macanu, didn't you? Here in Fordoof, and specifically going to the ferry storage to make a point. One is that I am a shameless sword collector, and two is that I have options, ranging all the way from 1 to 99. I've got the basic sword, I've got the Banished Blade, I've got Honor's Breath, I've got Godslayer, the Gold Sword, Evil Eyes, Jormungand, Eternity, even the rares like Burrito, the Chaos Sword, the Maniac Sword, Bear's Sword, Silver Knights, the Junk Sword. Even got the Chaos Sword here, and the Chaos Sword is an amazing weapon. Gives insane resistances, boosts physical and magic attack. The physical evasion minus 15 is more than worth it. Critical strike weapon and has 3 different elements of multi-target attack. So why didn't I settle on this sword? Why did I go with the Rugrats Knights? Quite simply, you don't lose that much. You lose a few points of attack, which don't factor in because I'm already getting boosted to 99 off either of them. The accuracy is also at 99. You lose 1 point of magic attack. And your resistance is getting bumped down from a 9 to a 7 is still on par with where you are with the armors. Fire specific attacks, but you still have a single target and a multi-target. The big thing here, without losing the critical strike, is that you gain Moomin Lay, which will allow you to put a target to sleep. This ability single-handedly has made this a far more effective character, especially when soloing. I'll do a little gameplay now and show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, we are here at Frozen Musing Parade, which is a level 95 Woodfield in the offline. And real quick, I do just kind of want to show you what we're dealing with here. Pop up a Fairy's Orb, and we are just going to run for the next portal. And from that point, probably going to go ahead into the dungeon. Data bug area did not require virus cores, so I get the strong feeling this was part of the storyline. May have been the last storyline dungeon. And there is an infected Astra King. I'm sorry, a Wonder Demon. It is a Wonder Demon that is hitting hard. We're just going to be hacking away at this big boy until we get to a drain opportunity. As you could see, its physical attacks, even with that full 99 armor, doing a number on us. And we would really want to just keep our health above half while we can. Hit the data drain. Cast Suvile and got a Tiger King out of the deal. And now we're to an Astra King, even though it said Wonder Demon on the initial. The blue coloration sort of made me think Astra King, and I'm happy that at least that paid off. Although not the happiest about it. The Astra King clearly draining my SP down to a pulp. But we're able to keep hitting away for consistent 251s. Just survive the Vulcan and get back to work here. There's another break. Don't really feel the need to drain this thing twice. And there we go. It is down. And we have survived that battle. Make a beeline for the dungeon here and get some inside battles captured. Yeah, tried a couple times there. Up against another one of these. I want to call them Wonder Demons, but they're clearly Astra Kings in disguise here. Same monster, different coloration. Big critical there for 514. That's actually going to decrease for us a bit after the drain, but it hits a bit less hard as well. Relies more on its magic at that point. Gonna have to head elsewhere just to get my drain a little lower. Besides which, I do want to show off some different aspects of the character other than just pure damage. There you can see with 1300 health, still enough to tank the Vulcan, pop an elixir and keep going. Halfway is really the only bar I want to watch out for with this character. The defense is high enough that I'm going to survive just about anything past that. So I've now shown I can handle Astra Kings rather well. Let me back out here and see if I can find you a bit better of a test creature-wise for some of the different abilities for this build. Okay, here we are in an area that isn't the endgame story dungeon. Hopefully be able to illustrate things a bit better. Like I had mentioned with earlier when I was going over the gear, Megan Rom is a primary attack for me, and yes, it's only 20 SP, and yes, there are far better options I could do for magic damage, but it does a great job of holding pesky enemies like armor generals at bay, while keeping my SP bar high enough that I could spam this pretty much ad infinitum without having to waste precious artisan souls on a singular attack. And the reason I want to keep them at bay is while I can attack them outright, they have the null damage as well, and they hit for a ton. In fact, their combo attacks can take about half of my health away on their own. So they are the physical equivalent danger-wise to a Vulcan summon from an Astra King. And the last thing I want to do is chance that heavily, because while Astra Kings only come in the singular, armor generals can come in multiples. And at times like that, being able to stop them in their tracks and just spam Megan Rom, even if it's only doing a host of 25 to 30s on the main target, and just dropping 14s and 15s on the splash damage, is still keeping that distance and allowing me to safely control this battle. And without having to worry about other resources, I can just keep my eyes peeled for monsters wandering in from the sides, and whether or not my buffs are still active. This does take a fair bit of time. It is far from the most exciting thing you'll see today, but it is effective. Don't know what happened there. Controller seemed to blink in and out. But there goes one of the armor generals, and we're under 1,000 on the other. Get it under 500 there, and we'll just run forth and take it down. This does mean I end up reapplying Riggeem and Rigsame a fair bit, simply just to make sure they're active. Losing a speed boost is annoying. Losing Riggeem and Rigsame is often life and death. More so Rigsame for the hit points here. Now with the Psyche Vision, even at this high a level, there are enemies that can be put to sleep despite what this game is telling me. That's 0 for 2. There we go. Now we've got it asleep for a bit, and even though in the past I've sat there with death touch weapons and just hacked until I got the skill to pop, it is far more consistent to just once again spam Megan Rom. You saw the first couple times we got elemental hits like there, and before you know it, we've got it well under half, and it hasn't been able to touch us. In fact, with the regeneration from Rigsame, we'll be back at full when it pops out of sleep, and we've got it down to about 2,000 health. Very easy victory for us. Psyche Visions, thanks to Moomin Lay, are the easiest thing we'll face in the upper echelon of monsters there. This is, again, on a level 95 field. You'll face them the entire way up to 98. So in those last 10 levels, when you're running conventional dungeons, Psyche Visions are going to be the safest thing you face. I'm going to do one more portal here. It's another Psyche Vision, and there you can see we've slept it on the very first try. Which gives us free reign to just hammer away. Safe distance, and I mean, it's all over but the shouting at this point. Not even getting the elemental hits, just time and time again blasting through. Had a couple come through there, and that means we're once again going to have this well under half by the time it gets in range for an attack, and all it could do is fire a Juke Rom at us. We're already nullifying a couple of hits out of that tornado just from health regen. Yeah, it looks like we're landing a solid about 800 damage on the elemental hits there. So that covers all of our high tier enemies. And really the kind of things you have to worry. Basically the only thing this character fears, which is a common fear with most builds at high levels, are status effects like confusion. But there's not much you could do but mitigate the damage and try and power through, which is why the high level armor is such a necessary thing for this character. That said, that is another edition of .hack character builds in the book. Hopefully this was helpful, taking a look at my take on a Blademaster. Probably not going to be the same take that many have. At least I would hope not. I would hope things are fairly unique. There's really no need for an established meta in this game. And it is fun to see some of the different ideas people have. If you have any comments, feel free to let me know what you think. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Thanking you for watching. And take care, and see you around.